So my name is Goran, and I'm coming from the company called Infinera. We are Silicon Valley based company, but we have R&D centers globally, including here in Stockholm. And we are doing some pretty cool stuff in the domain of optical networking. And we are, of course, doing it agile way. So today I would like to address one question that is behind this catchy title, because we have learned we need catchy titles in this conference. So the question that I would like to explore today is, what is the perfect positioning of a PO in respect to our development teams that creates best possible outcome, best possible backlog realization of our development team. So back to school. First, by the book, what is PO? PO role is defined as a person who is managing the backlog. Okay, what does that mean? So it's a person responsible for creation of backlog, for prioritization of backlog items, for definition of done, so acceptance when item is ready, creating a roadmap, so providing a forward-looking view for our development teams. Product owner has a relationship, ideal relationship is one-to-one to our development team. It could be 1 to N, so one product owner can serve several teams. And we should definitely avoid the relationship that several product owners serve one development team. And of course, product owner is an adjacent role to the team. It's not part of the team itself. So this all is good. Nothing controversial about these statements. It's a theory. But still, they are not giving answer to my question. These statements are quite one-dimensional. So if we go deeper into that question, let us imagine a space or reference system. Let us invent one reference system where we have time on x-axis. We have complexity and level of details on y-axis. And in the middle of the system, we have our development team. So team is in the moment T0, here and now. Time in front of the team is time yet to come. Time behind is time that has already elapsed. And then on the y-axis, if we go up, level of complexity and stuff and level of details that of items that we'll deal with is higher. Down is more shallow. So if we divide this space in let's say 4 quadrants, in the first space we are dealing with, we as a PO, dealing with items that relate to the past work of the team. Team has already visited those items, but yet we are dealing with them again. And complexity of those items is big. So, for example, we had some bad design choices in the past. Our system has performance issues that we need to resolve with the team. So that's the quadrant 1. In the second quadrant, we are also addressing or dealing with items that relate to the past, yet they are not maybe that complex. It could be a single customer defect. It could be some need for refactoring or something that relates, again, to the past work. Now, you already see the pattern. If you look on the quadrant 3, it is forward-looking items. Here we are talking about the true backlog management as it should be. And the level of complexity in this quadrant is maybe not that high, so it's going down as we go down in the y-axis. And last is quadrant 4, where we have, again, forward-looking items, but in higher complexity. Okay, so now we have the space. It's 2 dimensions, so it's maybe easier to relate our position. And the question is, what is the perfect position? Where do I want to be as a PO in order to move my development further, in order to create a new value for my stakeholders? So if we as a PO focus on a first portion, on the first quadrant, it means that we are dealing with, as we said, dealing with items from the past, dealing with design choices, dealing with architecture. It needs to be done, it's important work, but yet it does not create new value. In the quadrant 2, similar issue. It has to be done. We are dealing with maybe defects, we are dealing with customer escalations, we are dealing with refactoring. Indication of that, if we spend too much time in that quadrant, indication is that maybe we need to invest more time in quality assurance measures. We need to invest in test automation, for example. In the third space, now we really move ahead in the backlog management as it should be. We really move ahead backlog realization and create a new value for our stakeholders. However, if we focus too low in that space, pitfall is that we are talking about the concepts and not the functionality and user stories, so it will not help our team. And in number 4, again, focus is on the forward-looking items, which is good, but again, pitfall is if we go too high in that quadrant, then we are simply over-designing. We are creating detailed design, we are creating architecture of the system, and by that we are then limiting our development team from doing what they are best at. So the question from the beginning, where should I focus? Where should I focus as a PO? And the truth is, this is intentional. The truth is, let's give it a try. The truth is, as a PO, you need to be in all 4 quadrants. You cannot avoid all work. But if you want to move the needle, if you want to create a new value and move your backlog realization forward, then the focus is in the quadrant 3 and quadrant 4 and in the mid portion of those quadrants. As I said, pitfalls, if you go too low and too high, are definitely there. So key takeaways for my dear fellow colleagues, POs in the audience, and also for others, is of course good PO needs both competence, but also capacity to cover all 4 quadrants, because you cannot escape design talks, you cannot escape customer defects. But in order to move the needle, in order to move your backlog, focus on quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. That is the most fruitful area of our space, of our invented space. Balance, always balance between business and technical, always balance between specialization and generalization. And last but not the least, calibrate. Calibrate your position constantly, because each situation, each team, each project is unique. So you need to find your best position to serve your team in the best way. Thank you.